Welcome to Gough's cave. And I have to say, it's been many years since I've been inside a cave. Although we did do the ones under Edinburgh last year for the Mary King's experience. The last time I came into a cave was back in Wales when I was sort of 12, 13, when my mum used to take me in. So actually I'm really excited about this. And they give you a free audio guide as well, so you can kind of point them at certain things and it will tell you what's going on. So this one's talking now, you can hear this. This is talking about Richard's discovery. Richard Gough is the one that discovered the cave area. And then as you come down, you can kind of re-zap. And listen in again. That sounds quite cool. Usually you pay extra for the audio guides, but not so much here. But this is the beauty you're going to be getting. So we're going to show you around the caves. We can't give you much of the audio tour, obviously. We're going to listen to that on our own time and just show you exactly what it's all about. The first one we come to is Cheddar Man. Now, oddly, the real skeleton of Cheddar Man is actually in a natural history museum. So next time I go there, I'm going to have a look for that. And this is a replica one, but this is where it was found. Now, the formation of these caves date back 350 million years, which is unbelievable. So this is mainly limestone, it says, and it's the earth movements and the tides and things which have given it what you see today. Now I have to say as well, as being quite scared of heights, I'm really claustrophobic. You wouldn't think I ride roller coasters. But this isn't too bad. Whether or not it gets worse, I don't know. Just look at it. So this pit here is the lowest point of the cave. Apparently these caves are always 11 degrees no matter what, because there's no airflow. So it doesn't know whether it's hot or whether it's cold outside. It just makes no odds. This is just how it stays. And it's the water falling that give it its look, and is the deepest part of the cave. So where we say water sort of naturally comes in here as it runs off the gorge, the WL mark there is the highest recording level of water so far in this cave. As you can see, that's got to be 12 foot, 10 to 12 foot off of ground level where we're standing. So even on a day like today, where we've got a few puddles around and the water's still streaming down, even though it hasn't rained for a while now and it's freezing outside. I just wonder how bad it gets when it does storm and the water runs off the gorge. So this is the chimney. You might better hear this. It's telling us about the joints of the cave. It's so quiet down there, there's no one down here. So these are smaller effects, these ones. When you hear a noise of water, you do wonder, a bit like a horror film, whether or not something's just about to come flooding in. So what they're saying is, the smaller the holes, the scallop as they're calling this, the faster the water was flowing through it. This is really clever. So this bond's called Coins in the Roof, and these aren't the original coins. These are from the 40s. The original coins would have gone in 1890 when Gough was cleaning out this area. Now the reason they put coins in there is not for us to find like 100 years on. It's because as the rocks move, the coins would fall out, which would give them a warning sign that something terrible was about to happen and get out the cave, basically. And you've got to think, back in the day, there'd have been no health and safety, there'd have been no nothing. As they say, you'd just been in here on your hands and knees doing it. You know, it's quite an incredible, sort of ingenious way of thinking outside the box, which they really had to do back then. It goes without saying that when you think of cheddar, you think of cheese. And this is where, obviously, cheddar cheese comes from. It's where it originates from over 1,000 years ago. And when we look at these are actually cheddars maturing. You can see there's steps going up. These aren't props or little bits of scenery. that's actual cheese, cheddaring. And they call it cheddaring because that's the process to get the cheese. That's what they call the process and being able to do it. And then funny enough, they've only reintroduced sort of maturing it, a cave matured cheddar, since 2006. It's not been that long. I'd say it's not been that long, it's maybe been 20 years, but it doesn't feel like that long when it's in the 2000s. And obviously this has been, excavated over 100 years ago. So these are called stalactites, stalagmites, depending on whether or not they're hanging or whether or not they're sort of holding on from the ground. And one of these takes about 1,000 years to form. You know, they've got security alarms. They've got little things over here. Obviously, you don't want anyone taking them, which is obvious. But it does look stunning. It really does. Look at these. These are proper, like slimy, like salty slime. That's what it would have been like to try and dig out. It's just something else. So this is completely man-made through the rock using explosives. So effectively said, because this was always going to be sort of a tourist area for people to come and have a look at the caves, that this was made so people didn't have to turn back on themselves and could get out of the cave. So this has been made by local people in Cheddar. And it is why it feels, and this is what I would class as a cave. It's like feels really, really claustrophobic. Wow. And then you walk into this, my God. This is the St. Paul's chamber, and this was discovered in 1888, 1898, did just say, it was one of the two. It's old. And it's reminded Gough of St. Paul's Cathedral with organ looks and high towering areas, which is why they believe it was named St. Paul's. Discovered just 24 hours after the last chamber. This is the diamond chamber. Right, that's the stairs leading down from the diamond chamber. The diamond chamber you saw there is the furthest point in. It's about 1/4 of a mile from where you start. It did say it's the lowest point, but we just walked downstairs. I'm a little bit confused by that, but either way, it's really spectacular. Opened in 1898. Did hear and catch that one? 1898, 99. It kind of opened for the public. It was one of the first areas as well to be illuminated by electric. As I said, many towns didn't have electric then, but the diamond chamber was up and running. That is the end of Gough's cave. Now, funnily enough, even though they built a man-made cave to go through so you didn't have to double back on yourself, you do double back on yourself to come out, which is quite ironic, to be fair. But it's been beautiful to see. I think it's been even more creepy, the fact that we haven't seen anyone on the journey round. It's like really quiet. There was a worker up in the diamond chamber. She was reading a book, in fairness to her. I don't blame her. She's not going to see many people. They kind of suggested when we walked in that there weren't that many people booked in for today. But it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So you can fill your closed season with lots and lots of different things. It's highly recommended. Thanks for joining us here from Gough's Cave at Cheddar Gorge. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.